Most people walk into a dealership, sign whatever paper gets put in front of them, and drive home thinking they got a deal. They didn't. They just made a decision that's going to cost them thousands of dollars over the next few years. And the worst part? Nobody told them there were two completely different games being played at that dealership. One of them builds your future, the other one builds theirs. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which one you're signing. And more importantly, which one you should be signing. Stay with me. Here's what I want you to hold on to as we go through this. There's a specific scenario, a very specific type of person, specific life situation, where leasing actually beats financing. Most finance videos won't tell you that. They pick a side. I'm going to show you both sides, all the math, and then at the end, I'll tell you exactly who should lease and who should finance. Deal? Cool. Let's get into it. All right, quick foundation, because I can't have you nodding along without actually knowing what these two things are. Financing means you're taking out a loan to buy the car. You make monthly payments. The bank owns it until you pay it off. But once you do, it's yours. You own an asset. You can sell it, trade it, drive it into the ground, whatever. Leasing is different. When you lease, you're essentially renting the car from the dealership or manufacturer for a set period, usually 2 to 3 years. You make monthly payments, but you never own it. At the end of the lease, you hand it back. Now, here's the part most people don't get. Your monthly payment when you lease is almost always lower than when you finance, like sometimes significantly lower. And that's why leasing looks so attractive on the surface. But lower payment doesn't mean cheaper. And that difference, that's where people get hurt. Let's run some real numbers. I'm going to use a $35,000 car, something like a mid-range SUV or a solid sedan. Very realistic for what most people in their 20s are looking at. If you finance that car over 60 months at a 7% interest rate, you're looking at roughly $693 a month. If you lease that same car for 36 months, your payment might be somewhere around $450 a month. On the surface, leasing saves you $243 every single month. That sounds amazing, right? But here's the thing nobody says out loud. At the end of 36 months of financing, you own something worth, let's say, $18,000. That's equity. That's money you can get back. At the end of 36 months of leasing, you own nothing. Zero. You hand the keys back and you start over. And now you've got to sign another lease or finance agreement. So that savings every month, it evaporated because it built zero equity. Now, financing isn't perfect either. Let's be honest about that. First, interest. Depending on your credit score, you could be paying anywhere from 5% to 15% interest on that loan. Over 60 months, that's thousands of dollars going to the bank, not toward the car. If you've got bad credit or no credit history, which is extremely common when you're 18 to 25, your interest rate is probably brutal. Like, ouch. Why does this feel like a punishment? Brutal. Second, depreciation. The second you drive a new car off the lot, it drops in value. Most new cars lose 15 to 20% of their value in the first year alone. So you're paying full price for something that's immediately worth less. That stings. Third, you're locked in. If your situation changes in year 2 and you can't afford the car anymore, getting out of a finance agreement isn't easy. Selling it, trading it, there are costs involved. So yes, financing has real downsides. Let's not pretend otherwise. And it gets worse. Leases come with mileage limits, usually 10,000 to 15,000 miles per year. Go over that, and they charge you per mile on the way out. If you're driving to work, going on road trips, living your life, you will go over. There are also wear and tear fees. That little scratch on the bumper, that's your problem. There are people for whom leasing actually makes sense, and they are very specific. Business owners. If you use a vehicle for business and you can write off the lease payment as a business expense, leasing becomes a legitimate tax strategy. The math genuinely changes. People who need a new car every 2 to 3 years. If you're in a profession where you need to show up in something current, or you just genuinely get bored fast and know yourself, leasing keeps you cycling without the hassle of selling. People who hate maintenance stress. Most leases keep you inside the manufacturer's warranty the entire time. Major repairs? Usually covered. If you hate the anxiety of what's going to break next, leasing removes that. People with the income to handle the perpetual payment. Here's the key thing. If you're leasing forever, you're paying forever. If your income is stable and strong and you've accepted that a car is just always going to be an expense, leasing can fit that lifestyle. But if you are a regular 22-year-old trying to build financial stability, leasing is almost never the move. Here's what I'd actually tell a friend in their 20s sitting across from me right now. If you can, buy used, finance short. Find a 2 to 4-year-old car with low miles. Let someone else take that first-year depreciation hit. Finance it over 36 to 48 months, not 72. Yes, your monthly payment is higher on a shorter term, but you get out of debt faster, you pay way less interest, and you own the thing outright sooner. Build your credit. Make every payment on time. In 3 years, you've got equity, better credit, and options. That's the play most finance gurus don't talk about because it's not exciting. But it works. If you have to buy new, and sometimes you do, put as much down as you can to reduce what you're financing. And shop your interest rate. Don't just take what the dealer gives you. Go to your bank or credit union first. Get pre-approved. Walk in with your own rate in your pocket. The dealer's finance office can beat it, or you use yours. Either way, you win. Look, at the end of the day, both options exist for a reason. Neither one is evil. Leasing isn't a scam. Financing isn't always smart. The answer depends on your income, your lifestyle, your credit, and honestly, your goals. But now, you know enough to walk into that dealership and not just sign whatever gets slid across the table. That's the whole point. If this helped you think about your situation differently, share it with someone who's about to buy their first car. They will thank you. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below if this helped you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and be well.